Narcissist Ensnared. Episode 37. Ian Wynne pulled up outside Combank. It was just before 11 a.m. on the Monday, and he felt exhausted. He and Ashley had stayed up until nearly 3 a.m. talking the night before. He felt that he didn't want to sleep, as he wanted to spend time with Ashley. They had not made love that night, the first time in a long time that had happened, on a day they were together. Ashley said she felt too ill to do so. Wynne didn't press the issue, as she did look ill. She was pale, drawn, and had a mouthful of ulcers. She had lost weight, her head now looking too large for her body. This had angered Wynne, as he felt that Peter had brought this about. Not only had his treatment of her caused her anguish and anxiety, it was the fact that he had prevented them from being together more often, preventing Wynne from looking after her. Owing to the undertaking, from a Wednesday to Sunday morning, he could not be with her at her house, and therefore could not care for her or ensure that she was eating properly. He had put his foot down this morning. When they woke, she looked terrible, and was in obvious pain from the ulcers. Wynne had told her that she should not be going into work. She had protested, explaining she had a meeting that she needed to attend. He had therefore got her to agree that she would leave work at 11 a.m. and take the rest of the day off. Wynne had briefly been into the bank and checked on everything before explaining that he would be working from home. He would do so, but principally intended to check on Ashley and make sure that she was being looked after. She emerged from the building, unusually for her, at the agreed time. She got in the car and tilted her head back. "Right, I'm taking you to the doctor's to get you looked over," Wynne said. "Okay." She nodded and placed her hand on his. At a same-day health centre they sat waiting. Ashley leant against Wynne, her head resting on his shoulder, her hand gripping his. She seemed so fragile. Other patients came and went until Ashley was called. Wynne handled a few emails on his phone, and then she returned. "I saw a nurse. She wasn't much help. She's given me details of a mouthwash I should use. We can get it in the pharmacy underneath here." "Okay, come on." They made their way down to the front of the building and the pharmacy. Wynne waited as Ashley went in, and she emerged with 2 paper bags. She walked over to him and held them up. "I got the mouthwash. Apparently it will heal the ulcers and should numb the pain a bit. But I saw some anaesthetic spray as well, so I got that too. I also bought a pregnancy test. I need to know if I'm carrying your child." Wynne nodded. He had mixed emotions. He loved and adored Ashley, but he felt that it was too soon for them to have a child together, not because he doubted the strength of their relationship, but rather because she needed to get free of Peter and all that he had done. On the other hand, he knew that if she was pregnant, then Peter's recent attempt to reconcile with her must surely be doomed. Back at Wynne's house, he sat on the edge of the bed as Ashley disappeared into the ensuite. He heard her gargling with the mouthwash and then give a wince of pain. "Are you all right?" Yes, it just hurts at first. Apparently I mustn't swallow it, otherwise I will have an upset stomach. I'm doing the test now." Wynne waited, and then she emerged. He could not read anything from her expression. "What do you think it is?" she asked. "I don't know." "What do you want it to be?" Wynne hesitated, unsure of what to say. "I'd like you to be pregnant," he replied. She looked again at the indicator. I'm not pregnant, she declared. Oh, well, we can always try again, commented Wynne. Yes, we can. She began to remove her clothes, and Wynne copied. Soon he was inside her as they made love. It felt strange as he was unable to kiss her, her mouth too painful for her to do so. Wynne erupted inside of Ashley, and shortly afterwards she began to cry. What is it? Asked Wynne, alarmed as he rolled off her. Everything seems to be too much for me. I don't know what's happening anymore, she admitted. Don't worry. You're just ill and tired. I will look after you, he said, and slid his arms around her. By Wednesday, Wynne was driving Ashley into work. During the last couple of days, Peter had been repeatedly trying to ring Ashley. She had ignored his calls. Even when she was talking to Amelia, her daughter had said that Peter wanted to speak to her. But she acted as if she was having a panic attack and told her daughter that she didn't want to talk to him before pushing the phone away from her. He also kept sending her text messages. What does he want? Asked Wynne as they drove the previous evening to see a show that they'd booked to see some weeks ago. He says he needs to speak to me. I wish he would just fuck off. I'm worried that he's found something nasty about you. He seems intent on talking to me. Why would he find something out about me? Queried Wynne. There's nothing to find out. Is there not? She had asked, turning to him. No, there isn't, he had replied indignantly. I've spoken to Louise and told her how overwhelmed I am feeling. She's recommended I see a psychologist that she saw. Why? Louise said that if it wasn't for Helen, that's the psychologist, by the way, she wouldn't be here now. That sounds rather drastic. I think I will make an appointment to see her. I think it might help. Well, if you think it will, then you should do so, although I'm not entirely convinced. It seems to me that you just need some rest and some support. What you need is a stable environment and to be left alone by someone who belongs in the past, said Wynne. I just wish everyone would leave me alone, replied Ashley. On this Wednesday morning, she had risen, but looked like an automaton. Wynne caught her staring out of his bedroom window with silent tears trickling down her face. When he asked her what was wrong, she just told him that everything felt too much. Now they drove down the main route into the city from the north, and Ashley sat in silence. Wynne felt unsettled. He was used to her chatting away to him and laughing. A sense of dread was sat in his stomach. Have I done something wrong? Asked Wynne as they reached a junction. God, no, it's not you. Are you sure? Yes, it isn't you. I just don't know what's happening to me anymore. Everything feels so... I don't know. Wynne offered his hand, and she slipped hers into his. I will get you through this, he said. She nodded. I promise. I know it is hard at present, and him pressing you doesn't help. He is not the answer. You know this. I will take care of you. You've had too much to do on your own for far too long. Remember who put you in that position. He did. I let you be yourself. I let you make your own choices, and together we'll get you through this difficult time. She nodded again. Remember, I am your angel. I love you, said Wynne. I know, she answered softly.